A thriving civil society and democracy has always been dependent on free, strong and critical news media. News media enable us to know, to understand, to imagine and to organise to make the world better. Without them, citizens are less informed and less able to offer alternatives. News media are therefore key to holding the powerful to account, to forming political communities and to enabling positive social change. At a time when people depend more than ever on secondary sources of information, the health of public service news media is paramount. Yet traditional media business models are in crisis. The advertising revenues that once resourced news gathering are declining. For example, in 2009, over 100 local and regional newspapers vanished in the UK. You might think that with the rise of the internet, there would be more availability of diverse news. But this is not the case. The internet has certainly made it much easier for civil society organisations and millions of bloggers to convey their views and ideas. But despite the proliferation of online platforms, more of the news we receive is recycled journalism, the same content repackaged for different news platforms. Concentration of media ownership in the hands of corporations such as News International and Trinity Mirror has narrowed the sources from which original news derives. Yet in the context of narratives such as big society and government intentions to devolve power and decision-making, the quality and diversity of news media is critical in helping people make informed choices and empowering them to influence public authorities and local decision-makers. Civil society organisations such as the Community Media Association, the Campaign for Press and Broadcasting Freedom and the National Union of Journalists are important players in shaping the media landscape. And community news outlets across the UK and Ireland add new dimensions to the mediascape. But more needs to be done to break the pattern in which powerful public and private sector players fight a zero-sum game over a dwindling audience. The Commission believes that the core characteristics of a healthy news media, including freedom, plurality and integrity, will be best achieved by strengthening the relationships civil society has with news organisations, policymakers and regulators. So what needs to be done? The Commission report, Making Good Society, offers a series of ideas. First, there need to be more policy and financial commitments from local and national governments to strengthen and grow quality local and community media. Secondly, civil society organisations need to be more active in scrutinising news media. Support needs to be given to civil society initiatives that monitor the media and that develop new standards such as kite marks so that people can distinguish accurate news from disinformation. Thirdly, we support the continuation of the licence fee as the best protection for the public nature, quality and critical freedom of the BBC, a global centre of journalistic excellence. This is not to say that the BBC should not be challenged to fulfil its role more effectively. We urge the BBC to do much more to collaborate with civil society organisations in developing public service news at all levels. And how about more innovation in the funding of quality news production? New funding models need to be explored thoroughly. For example, tax concessions, industry levies, and greater involvement by trusts and educational institutions. Organisations such as Google, which recycle journalistic content without paying those who originate it, should channel some of their profits into supporting quality news journalism. Change in the media landscape is inescapable. But civil society can and must be vocal in shaping that change and in demanding the reliable, high-quality media they need to be active and effective citizens and to hold power to account at every level.